Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Has it been happy so far?
Yes.
Yeah. Kinda. I made that New Year's resolution and then I broke it on day 2. Yeah, I love New Year's because it's always a reminder that we can always start over again. And it's a perfect time to start over again, but you actually don't have to start over again on New Year's Day. You can start over again today, and then today, and then today. And every moment is a reminder for us to be in that brand new baby moment. Brand new baby moment, because it's a brand new baby year. And to me, what a blessing it is that it's pouring rain. Because we've been in a drought here in California for over 2 years. 5 years. 5 years we've been in a drought, and this is supposed to be the 10-year storm that's coming through, giving us more rain than we've had in 10 years. And so while one person may look at this terrible storm as the worst thing ever, the rest of the state is going to get the benefit of this terrible storm. So there's the question, how are you looking at your life? How are you approaching your life? Is it the terrible 10-year storm, or is it the best thing that could have happened? It's the same thing that's happening right now, right? The exact same thing. But it's always a challenge. It's always a challenge. I really love this time of year because we go back to the basics. In Centers for Spiritual Living, we go back to the basics of what is science of mind all about. This is what we study here. We study science of mind. We teach the principles that we learn in science of mind. And the principles are all about the thing itself. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the thing itself. Well, what is the thing itself? It's the thing with a capital T. The thing. And that's not like cousin it or anything. It's the thing. The thing itself. And the thing itself is God. God. But when I say God, some of you in the room are going, ooh, don't use that word. Well, what if I said the thing itself is love? What if I said the thing itself is life? So what is life or mind? Have you ever thought about that? Where is my mind? No, I don't mean like I'm forgetting everything. I mean, where is my mind? Literally, where is my mind? When I'm thinking and, who's the thing? What's the thing that's doing the thing here? Have you ever had that time when you look at yourself and you observe yourself doing something? Well, who's the observer? How can you be observing yourself? Well, that's the thing itself. It's the thing that we all are. We're all part of the thing itself, and we're part of that consciousness. And it has a very leveled approach. I would say there's the infinite everything, the thing itself, right? That's where the great creator is, the thing that causes all of us. It is the back of all of our being. It is the great cause. And then you get it's like we have that science of mind symbol. You know the science of mind symbol? I don't think we have it up today, but it's kind of like a V with a three layers on it. And the science of mind symbol is basically us talking about the big infinite everything going down to the finite. And that's really what the mind is, the mind of God. The mind of God goes from the infinite and it goes down to the individual mind. But we all have all three of those aspects. The individual mind, I would say there's also group consciousness, group mind, group think, and then there's the infinite mind. So we're all multidimensional and multi-layered in how we can approach life. We can approach life from that infinite aspect, or we can approach life from the finite aspect. And we can react from each of those phases as well. So I went off on a cruise. I didn't know if you guys knew that, but I went cruising, left on December 30th, and I got back last night at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Yeah, it was a really great time. I enjoyed it, and I was reading this book. Gina and I are doing this kind of daily read from Alan Cohen's book, which is A Daily Dose of Sanity. And he had this great story in there. He said, one One day I was in Chicago, leaving the Chicago airport, and there was a toll booth for all of us to go through to pay for our toll for parking. And he said, as I reached the toll booth after a very, very, very long line, we found a handsome Italian man with sparkling eyes at the toll booth. I was reminded that toll collecting is one of the worst jobs that anybody could ever have. There was a survey done on all the different jobs, and toll collecting was one of the worst jobs. And yet this man, as he collected our fee and handed us our change, he broke into a rousing song of several verses from the opera La Traviata, masterfully sung. The women in the car swooned, we all applauded, and the toll collector bowed. And we left the parking lot with a smile. And he says, there are two ways in which you can change your life. You can manipulate external conditions, or you can shift your attitude. Sometimes you can change your environment. Always you can change your mind. So I love that this man turned a dreary toll booth job into an opera house. I had a similar experience as we were leaving the cruise ship. There's like 3,000 people on the cruise ship. I mean, it's a lot of people. It's incomprehensible how they can feed that many people and clean the rooms, and it's just amazing. There's a staff of over 1,000 on board the ship to serve the 3,000, which is pretty amazing, huh? And we were leaving the cruise ship. What they did is they have you leave in waves, so that way there's not just like 3,000 people exiting. So we had to be out of our rooms by 8 a.m., but then our time to leave wasn't until like 10 o'clock in the morning. So we hung out on the cruise ship, on port, had some more food. I had a lot of food. I had like a cruise baby. There was so much food. It's like, yeah, no, actually I'm just pregnant with possibility, really. No. But we got off the cruise ship, and there was so many people. It was mayhem, and they were all over the place. And Gina and I had decided not to fly out that same day that we were getting off the ship, because I had no idea how long it would take to get off the ship and all that stuff. So we decided to fly out on Saturday, yesterday, and we're trying to get our Uber. And we're waiting for this lady who cannot find us. We're like across the street from the port, and I'm trying to get her. And meanwhile, I'm on the street, and there's a parking cop, like he's directing traffic and everything. And he's, I can't imagine that directing traffic is the most fun thing to do either. But he's there like, yeah, you go that way. Yeah, I heard you. Mm-hmm. He's like doing a little dance, and so I'm standing there laughing at him, right? And then he's like, oh, hello there. And he runs up to me. He says, it's a brand new year. And I'm like, why, yes, it is. He says, may I please have a brand new year hug? And I was like, why, yes, sir, you may. So he gave me a New Year's hug. Then he went to Gina, can I have a brand New Year's hug from you too, missus? And she was like, oh, okay, So, and then he went back out to his little thing. It was great, right? And I just thought, here he is in the middle of, there's taxis, there's semis, there's trucks, there's people trying to get in, there's people dropping off. And as they unload the cruise ship, this is what's crazy. As the 3,000 people are coming off the cruise ship, 3,000 more people are coming back on the cruise ship. That's why they have us get out at 8 a.m., because they turn the room and people are loading by 12. I mean, it's just amazing. It's amazing. But I just thought about that policeman. And here he was. And he could have been just, actually, there were some people. But that he turned the whole moment into a beautiful experience. And so when we finally got our Uber and we're coming back to our hotel, I saw the news about the Fort Lauderdale airport. Now, the rest of our cruise people, there's 10 of us who came from Center for Spiritual Living Peninsula, were at the airport. Gina and I were not, but the rest of them were. So John and Kathy Sharmer, who are flying back today, were also at the airport. And meanwhile, there's a shooter who is in the baggage claim, and he shot up a bunch of people. I'm sure you all heard the news. And I'm looking at the news, and all we have is that there's a shooter at the airport, and I'm knowing that all of our people are at the airport. So, but what is it? Is it the terrible storm? Or is it the thing that is adding water to something good? Now, I know that each traumatic event that we have in this country or in the world is very serious. And I really would like all of you to pray for all of those families who lost people. I was reading the news. Some of the people were coming onto that cruise ship that we were leaving. Most of the people were. So in the same place where I was, where it could have been me just the next week, right? It could have been me. But I think it really shifts me into that space of gratitude. How grateful am I? How grateful am I that I am alive? And while I could be upset at that Uber who took 30 minutes or 40 minutes to try and find me, well, I'm alive. I'm alive. And I think that so often we're in that space of being angry or upset about the little things in life when there's so much bigger things for us to be grateful for. I'm super grateful that all of our crew, they were all safe. 3 of them had already been on planes. Some of them were in the drama of the airport, the terminal of the airport. Kathy injured her foot, got her toenail torn off. We had another one of our people who got kind of shoved around and pushed around and got bruises because there's crowd mentality, right? So you're thinking of the one mind. You've got the individual mind. Crowd mentality is like the group mind. And sometimes it doesn't always operate from that instinct of love. It operates from the instinct of survival. So can we come from the place of forgiveness? Can we come from the place of gratitude? When something like this happens, I have to say I truly believe that it is a catalyst to something great happening. Something greater happening. And each and every one of us, when we lose somebody in our life, it is a tragedy, it is a loss. We feel it greatly, but at the same time, we're infinite beings. Here on this planet for a short time. All of us are time limited. And we have a choice on how we're going to use up that time. What we're going to do with each and every one of those moments. And we can choose to either be happy and grateful, or we could choose to be upset and angry. And that's where the forgiveness comes in. Who am I to not forgive? I know that the person who had that gun is in every one of us. Each and every one of us are capable of doing some kind of deed, some kind of harm to another person. So where can I forgive myself? Because I'm part of the thing itself. I am part of the thing itself. I am part of the one thing, and so is that gentleman. You see, when we study the science of mind, the study of spirit, mind, first cause, we know that it is the invisible essence out of which everything comes. So it's kind of like God is all the paint. And we know that it has principles. So the paint can be mixed, blue, yellow, mixed into green, right? That's a principle of God. I can tell you that one of our principles is not forgiveness. Because forgiveness is a human aspect. Because God is love. And so there is no aspect of God that is holding any angst against any one of us, including the person who wielded that gun. So it's up to us to be in a world where we're the ones who are doing the forgiving, where we're the ones who are stepping into that aspect of love. For what is love? If you were truly loving at the deepest level, you would be loving each person no matter where they're at. And can we get to that? I think I can. And I'm willing to. I'm willing to step into that place, and sometimes it takes courage for each and every one of us to step into that place, especially when we know that it's so easy to step into the place of anger. It's so easy to step into the place of hatred. It's much harder to step into the place of love. And first, you get to start with yourself. Can you love yourself enough where you have committed an action of hatred or harm against another where you can forgive yourself? When you start getting to that space of forgiving yourself, you start getting to the space of forgiving that person who held the gun. When you can step into that place, you're the one who's becoming the voice of the divine. You're the one who's becoming the heart of the divine. I know that each and every one of us are like waves in the ocean of God. So where in me have I created harm against somebody else? Where in me have I decided that it's not worth living or that I want to take somebody out? I think that perhaps I can start choosing to live from the place where each and every person is a gift. Where each and every person, instead of being a person of harm in my life, they're a person of gift in my life. So how could this person be a gift in my life? Well, I can say that whenever this happened and I knew about all my friends, I was super grateful to know that they were all safe. And I was super grateful to know that I'm connected to a community that even if something had happened, we would have been pulled together to create that connection and that support system. I'm super grateful to know that I'm not alone. I'm super grateful to be reminded of how precious life is. And whenever I have this new year and I'm creating New Year's intentions, I don't do resolutions, I do intentions. When I'm creating these New Year's intentions, I'm stepping into that place of how can I be more love in the world? How can I be more joy in the world? How can I be like that toll booth person? How can I be like that parking lot attendant? How can I be the dancing policeman who gives hugs spontaneously to people? Or the toll booth attendant who gives of his service as he sings to each person? What if I were choosing to be a person of upliftment to the world? When the world is having its suffering and its sadness, how could I be that one person every day who steps into this place of being a person of impact and love? And that's whenever I know that I'm creating this amazing expression of God, the thing itself. Because when I'm acting in love, I am acting in God. I am being God. You see, there's God is everywhere. Everything that I'm being is God right now. But I have the choice of being in tune with the higher vibration, or I have the choice to be in tune with the lower vibration. Each and every aspect. So God has all those colors, right? And the color could be brown, or it could be blue, or it could be yellow, or it could be red. Which color am I going to be? I can choose to be that color that is most uplifting to people. I can choose to be purple. Because here we're studying metaphysics. So metaphysics, anybody know what metaphysics is? Anybody? No? Yes, kind of. Nobody wants to really say what it is, though.
It's actually hard to define it, I think.
Yeah?
It's beyond physics.
Oh.
Greater than, beyond.
That wasn't very hard, Vance. So So meta means above or beyond, and physical, which refers to anything that cannot be perceived by the five senses. So beyond our five senses, metaphysical, right? So we study metaphysics here. We study the principle that's beyond our hands and feet. But it's not beyond our hands and feet. It is that and. So we study the principle of being in all expressions. And so I know that whenever I show up on the cruise ship, and my mom and I every single day show up with the same color on, something is happening that's beyond the physical, right? Something is happening beyond physics. And so I recognize that as things like that happen every day, something like that can be created with a group mind. So as a group mind can trample people, right? As you can get into that fear mode and you can get into that way of being scared for your life, the group mind can also create opposite of that. Spontaneous acts of happiness. Spontaneous groups of love moving through the world. And so that's what I want to invite you to do, because we're in this world of metaphysics. There's something that's beyond our mind that's connecting us all, and it is love. And when we tap into that, we start noticing that we're in a movement of love. We're on a boat that is in a direction of love. Now, who are you? Are you the passenger on the boat, or are you the captain of your own ship, right? So I went to a cruise. I knew it was going to the Caribbean, which is why I got on that boat. But I was not the captain of the boat. The captain of the boat tells which direction it's going, right? So I can choose to be the captain of the boat, or I can choose to be a passenger. But if you're going to choose to be the passenger, which boat are you getting on? You know? You could be getting on the boat to, I don't know, Hades. You could be getting on the boat to, I don't like myself, right? Each one of those has a group consciousness connected to it. And so you can choose to be getting on the boat of love. You can choose to be getting on the boat of patience, of forgiveness. Forgiveness. You could be choosing to get on the boat of the people who start off the new year and it just keeps getting better. You can be on that boat, or you can be the captain of your own boat. And you could recognize that as you choose to make your own choices to go into certain directions, that maybe you have a whole bunch of passengers on your boat too, just helping you move along in that direction. So either way is possible and either way works, but be careful of where you are putting your intentions, because your intentions are where your boat is heading. So I invite you to think as you begin this new year, where is my boat heading? Where am I placing my intentions? Am I going to be the toll booth person? Am I going to be the person who is the one who creates happiness in the space where there's not? Or am I going to be the one who is just with the crowd mentality and I'm just rolling in fear? It's all up to you. But I know which boat I'm going on. I'm going on the boat that goes to the Caribbean, that's there in peace and harmony and happiness. And I'm going on the boat that's part of love and light. And that's the boat that I choose to be on. And I choose to be the captain of my ship in the way that I direct my life, in the way that I direct my intentions. It's my intention to create things that are even beyond my understanding. So for instance, I want to do, just like Alice, I want to create, five impossible things before breakfast. 5 impossible things before breakfast. I started that last year. I did a notebook of 5 impossible things before breakfast. And I went back this year and I looked at it, and some of those things actually happened. Like the things I thought were impossible. Well, that's because I'm part of the thing itself, which is much bigger. It's a much bigger boat. Much bigger than all of us. And as I set my intention, then something already causes the action to have it moving in a direction of my dreams, of what I really want. And sometimes I don't even have to navigate it. I don't even have to worry about it. It's already happening. And so I leave you with that today. Where are your intentions? Where you're going to create your life? What direction are you heading? Because it's all up to you. You could be purple, you could be blue, but it doesn't matter to me. Each way, it's going to be a way. But why don't you choose the way that works the best for you? Are you willing to do that?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. And so it is. Thank you. And so let's pray. I'm so grateful to know that there is an infinite everything that is taking care of all that is. And this infinite everything is love. And so I know and claim that this love that is beyond bounds, beyond limits, beyond anything I could even conceive of, surrounds me. It infuses my body. It infuses each and every person here, and it especially infuses each and every person who is a victim of those Florida shootings, including the shooter. I'm so grateful to know that there is something that is happening as a result of this, that is a catalyst in this world, that is for greater good. I declare that this is happening on a level that is much beyond my greatest expectations. I know and claim that I am moved to be in that space of compassion, of knowing that love opens its heart to all, opens its heart to all. And so I surrender into this idea of wanting to know, of wanting to understand. And I open to an idea that's bigger and better than that. Something that is miraculous that is happening beyond my understanding, that is moving in and through all of us, that has shifted us on this planet into a space of being in alignment with our intentions. And so I declare that my intention is to be an intention of the way shower, to be the intention of the one who releases and lets go of the attachment to what is, and I step into the idea that what is occurring is the best thing that could have ever occurred. I'm so grateful to know that God is conspiring for my greatest good, and I am here to receive it right here and now. As I declare that for myself, I declare it for each and every person here, that I can see with those eyes, with the eyes of love, that I can hear with the ears of love, that my heart is open to that love, and that I surrender into it, and I allow it to take me into this year, into a way that is better than I could ever even imagine. I allow it to navigate my ship. I allow it to take the ship into the space of being love on this planet. And so I'm so grateful to know this truth, to know it is already done, to know that I'm surrounded by that blanket of love. I know that each and every person here is surrounded by that blanket of love. And so I just accept it. I'm worth it. We are all worth it. I love it. I let this prayer go and I let it be. And so it is.